from the Frank Beck Studio Annex. This is Timeout Overtime on the Timeout Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenault. Pardon me. And do me a favor before I get started here. Get down there in the corner and hit that like and subscribe button. Will you please? You'll be doing me a big favor. Try to cut this to just 15 or 20 minutes today. I ran a little bit too long Tuesday, and I apologize for that. But we've got a lot of Piston talk to go over. Get you caught up on what's going on here, too. As you know, NBA Finals start tonight. So before we get to all that, let's do this. Timeout Overtime is sponsored in part by Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. If it's time for a new to you vehicle, let the sales professionals at Beck's help you choose the right vehicle. New or pre-owned, Beck's has the top selection in the tri-state area with over 200 vehicles in stock. Stop by and see for yourself. And when you're ready, ask for Russ McMorty, Chris Hodis, Danny Smith, Adam Schaefer, Blake Bryant, Cameron Mincio, or their newest sales professional, Mr. Bob Flynn. Yep, that Bob Flynn. And when it comes time to service that new to you vehicle, the service pros at Beck's can fix it. Any make, any model, Ford or domestic, Beck's can fix it. And if you have a bit of a crunch or fender bender, Beck's Body Shop can put it back together, looking just as good as new. So for all your automotive needs, look no further than Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. 517-849-2886 or on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. Come and experience the Frank Beck difference. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. All right. NBA Finals get underway tonight in Boston. The Mavericks and Celtics, believe it or not, it's on ABC. You can actually watch it for free. I know it's hard to believe, isn't it? No. It should be a competitive series. Let's hope it is anyway. The Celtics are slight betting favorites, although there has been a lot of money coming in on the Mavericks apparently the last couple of days. I think it'll be a good series. Wouldn't surprise me if it goes 7 games. What the Celtics, too, are attempting to become the winningest team in NBA history. By that, I mean right now the Celtics and the Lakers have the most NBA championships since the league has been in existence with 17. So, obviously, the Celtics are looking to garner their 18th NBA championship, and that would put them in the lead, at least for the time being anyway, because the Lakers sound pretty serious about hiring Dan Hurley, don't they? Away from UConn, the 2-time defending NCAA champion. Apparently they are prepared to do what Tom Gores did for Monty Williams last year about this time. Make him an offer he can't refuse. He's already spoken to his team, I guess, and told them he's been upfront with him, told them he's talking to the Lakers. Hurley has made it known it's always been his wish or ambition to coach in the NBA. And Governor Buss, Governor Buss, that's what they refer to now. That's her title in the Lakers front office. That would be the daughter of the late Jerry Buss, the late owner Jerry Buss. Now, his daughter's running the team now, and they refer to her as Governor Buss. Really? Okay. Anyway, they have said that they're talking now, and the talks are beginning to escalate. So this sounds pretty serious. It sounds like Hurley is probably on his way to the Lakers. Again, he's made it known to his players that they are talking. And I guess, as I said, that's been his dream, if you will. sometimes this works out, sometimes it doesn't. When I mean college coaches jump into the NBA. Tom Izzo at Michigan State had more than one opportunity to leave East Lansing and go to the NBA. He decided to stay in East Lansing. Trying to think. Well, of course, John Beeline left Michigan to coach the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that didn't work out. So I think Beeline somehow is back in Ann Arbor now. He's on the Wolverine payroll. I couldn't tell you exactly what he's doing. Maybe in an advisory capacity. But what I'm saying is sometimes this works out, sometimes it doesn't. But the latest is Dan Hurley apparently is getting pretty serious. It wouldn't surprise me even the next day or two. He is named the new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Hockey, too, Stanley Cup Finals get underway Saturday night in Sunrise, Florida. The Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, with the Panthers being slight betting favorites. Oilers, as I've said before, are attempting to become the first Canadian team to win Lord Stanley's Cup since 1993 when the Montreal Canadiens won it. So that brings you up to snuff on what's going on in the NBA and the NHL. We'll get to the Pistons situation momentarily. Today's the last day for the mandatory mini camp for the Lions. Players who have stood out in the mini camp include Levi Onwuzurike. Apparently, according to Dan Campbell, he's gained some weight. He's had some back issues ever since they drafted him out of Washington. But if this guy somehow can resurrect his career and become the player that the Lions thought he was going to be, this would be a bonanza for the defensive line, which I think is already improved with DJ Reader and Lee McNeil in his contract here. I think the Lion defense is going to be much better this year. I think it'll be outstanding. Secondary, another player that's stood out apparently in camp has been Jameson Williams. According to Jared Goff, they've got the chemistry going between the two of them now. That's good to hear. So after today, this will be the last workout for a lot of the guys until training camp opens up late next month. Now, there is next week, June 10th, 11th, and 12th, there is one last organized team activity workout in Ellet Park. And then after that, as I say, nothing going on there until training camp opens up in late July. Is that all, Dan Campbell? Well, there are a couple other players, too. And the name I wanted to run by you of a safety who played at Northwestern, transferred to Notre Dame, and that is Brandon Joseph. Safety, Brandon Joseph. Brad Holmes has a way of resurrecting careers when it looks like the guy is done. Brandon Joseph had a good career at Northwestern. He transferred to Notre Dame and got hurt. His draft stock fell dramatically. Now, he's no relation at all to the other Joseph that the Lions have at safety, Kirby. No relation at all. But wouldn't that be something if they were both playing safety and both named Joseph? That might get a little confusing back there. Anyway, they're high on this kid. So remember the name Brandon Joseph, Lions. Oh, another thing too that Dan Campbell pointed out yesterday at this press conference. They don't know who the starting secondary is right now. He called it open competition. Amik Robertson, the free agent signee from Las Vegas, has stood out. Dan Campbell has had a lot of good things to say about him. He said that he's his kind of player. On the kicking, as far as the kicking goes, don't be surprised if in the end this kid Edwards from Michigan beats out Michael Badgley in the kicking competition. As I said the other day, Badgley may have increased his range with the help of Dave Phim, his coach. He's still too inconsistent. Edwards in this competition has been the more consistent kicker. And he's got a pretty strong leg too. So there'll be something to watch during preseason. Kicking competition for the Lions. Is there anything else I wanted to touch on? Let's see. As Dan Campbell said yesterday, that there's an open competition in the secondary now. I think we've covered the Lions. Tigers lost last night in an ugly game, 9-1. Although Justin Henry Malloy had the only 2 hits for the Tigers in the game, and the first one was his first major league home run. So good for him. Congratulations to him. Family was there. He had a big smile on his face, rounding third base. He got all of that one. I think it was more than 400 feet. So congratulations to Justin Henry Malloy on his first major league home run. Tigers are, 31-31, solidly entrenched in 4th place in the American League Central Division, which, by the way, after so many years being the worst division of baseball, you could argue now it's probably the best. Again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I didn't see Kansas City or Cleveland doing what they're doing now. But it's a 2-team race in the American League Central. It probably will be all year. I'll be surprised even if the Twins get involved. But speaking of the Twins now, they're still 2.5 games ahead of the Tigers for that final wild card spot. And I mentioned too about Scott Harris, team president. As he looks at the calendar, he's got to be thinking July 31st will be here before he knows it. Let's just hope and pray that he does his due diligence. And when he trades Jack Flaherty, and he will, he can get a couple of bona fide position prospects, major league hitters. So he better do his homework on this one. As Lynn Henning wrote the other day, Flaherty will fetch a king's ransom. Well, now that he's got some back issues, I'm not so sure about that. Look, these other general managers are not dumb folks. They understand. They know what's going on. They realize that Flaherty is a free agent to be, and if the Tigers don't trade him, he will walk away and they will get nothing in return. The other general managers know, hey, we're going to offer you these prospects, and if you don't take them, you don't have much choice. You're going to lose this guy for nothing. And again, you can't blame Scott Harris for what happened last year with Eduardo Rodriguez. He had a deal done, and at the last minute, Rodriguez had initially agreed on it. At the last minute, he said no. He didn't want to do it. He nixed the deal. So I'm going to say a little bit too about what's going on down at Toledo. Who's hot down there? Well, Tiger catcher Dylan Dingler is coming off a great month of May. He hit .354 in the month of May, and that included 4 home runs and 4 doubles. And right now, though, the most consistent hitter all year has probably been Jace Young. He's batting around .270. I think he's got 8 home runs right now, 34, 35 RBI. He's been their most consistent hitter. I haven't had a chance to get down and watch Toledo yet, but I would like to do that before the season ends. Okay, we got Tigers baseball out of the way. I want to say something about the Pistons head coaching situation here in just a second, but let me get this word in for Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale. Tim Lindley, the most tech-savvy guy in our area, whatever it is, anything involving tech services, computers, new or used, maybe the computer you have now needs some work done on it. Tim's the guy to see. If you just bought a flat screen smart TV or thinking of buying one, he can mount it and program it for you, get that all set up. Printers, new or used, getting new internet service installed, whatever it is. Tim's the guy you want to see. He'll take good care of you. He's at 37 Walburn Street, a couple hundred feet west of Howell Street. Get in there and see him, 517-610-5372. Or that's rather than call him, go in there and see him. Like I said, he's right on the alley there on the north side of Waldron Street. Can't miss it. Get in there and see him. And when you do, would you please tell him Rick sent you? I would appreciate that. Thank you. He's a good man. His assistant's very capable too, Zach. They're both good people. Before I get into the Piston situation here, let me wet the whistle. Just a second. You know, the Pistons officially announced almost 2 weeks ago, I think it was, that they had hired Trajan Langdon, the Pelicans general manager, to become president of basketball operations up here for the Pistons. We have had no introductory press conference officially introducing him yet. So you have to wonder what's the holdup. What's going on? The Athletic, which is a very reputable site, national site, James Edwards III covers the Pistons for the Athletic, and he has said that they are evaluating, they're in the process of evaluating everybody right now, in the front office, on the coaching staff, and everybody. And he wrote, was it yesterday or today? He says he thinks it's 50-50 on Monty Williams coming back. Apparently, Tom Gores, team owner, has given Trajan Langdon, he's given him the keys to the team. Free to do whatever he wants with the front office, the coach. Everybody's being evaluated. Like I said, in the front office, head coach, coaching staff, everybody. Maybe this is a rather lengthy process. I don't know, but we haven't seen hide or hair of Trajan Langdon yet. Of course, the first thing he did was show general manager Troy Weaver the door. Thanks, but no thanks, Troy. And now this comes out. James Edwards III has also written. The current vice president of basketball for the Memphis Grizzlies, a fellow that we're pretty familiar with, Tayshaun Prince, is a candidate to replace Troy Weaver in Detroit and serve as Langdon's number two guy right behind Langdon. Of course, you remember Tayshaun. He's one of my favorite players when he was here. Longest arms I've ever seen on anybody, basketball or anywhere else. Give you a little bio on him. He was an All-American at Kentucky, first round pick of the Pistons in 2002. He spent 11 seasons playing in Detroit, of course, winning an NBA title in 2004 in the Going to Work team. He spent some time after that in Memphis and Boston before returning to the Pistons, where he retired following the 2016 season. In 2017, he immediately went to work and joined the Grizzlies front office. He was shortly after that, he was promoted there, bumped up a little bit, spent 7 seasons with Memphis. And the word is now that he could very well become the Pistons' next general manager. As I said, team sources have said that Gores has given Langdon carte blanche to make any changes that he sees fit in the front office or the coaching staff. And of course, as I said, the first order of business was to say goodbye to Troy Weaver. That, as I said, the entire coaching staff right now and front office are all being evaluated. Maybe that's what's holding everything up. I don't know. Maybe they would feel uncomfortable. Look, he's going to, that whenever they do have this introductory press conference, he's going to get a lot of questions thrown at him. Tough questions. They have the 5th pick in the draft. We interview you to trade that pick, keep it. Also, the Pistons have a lot of money to work with right now. They are $65 million. $65 million under the cap. That's the most of any team in the NBA. What are you going to do with that? You're going to attempt to bring in a couple of free agents? There's a lot of decisions that have to be made yet. What is the NBA draft? At the 26th and 27th later this month? So obviously the man has a lot on his plate. Is he waiting to hire a general manager? And possibly a new coach? And they'll all be present at that press conference? I don't know. That's a good question. But for a team that only won 14 games last year, and of course it was just about this time last year that they signed Monty Williams to, what was it, $73 million contract. So if you're gonna say goodbye to him now, well, what are you gonna do? Cut him a check for $50-some million? Eat it, Tom Gorse. You're gonna eat more than $50 million? That's what they'd be doing if they said goodbye to Monty Williams. Anyway, like I said, this would be a little shorter session today than normal. And we cover. There's one couple of other things I wanted to. For many years now, Boomer Esiason. Well, it seems that years do go by. It seems like he's, as you know, Boomer Esiason has been with CBS for many, many years on the during the football season, doing the post and pregame shows on that round table that they have with the other guys, James Brown, Bill Cowher, and et cetera, et cetera. But he, of his own free will, he has decided to step aside. You won't see him anymore on CBS. As I said, that was his doing. That was his decision. As he's getting older, he simply decided that he wanted to have more personal time. You can't blame him for that. He also has a lot of duties at WFAN radio in New York. He does a weekday show, I believe, from 6 to 10. As I said, he gets older, wanted to spend more time with his family, wanted to have more free time. You can't blame him for that. So, as I said, when you watch football this fall and you don't see Boomer Esiason, now you know why. He decided to step aside with CBS. Like I said, that was his doing. So, if we covered everything, I think we have. Get you up to stuff, get you up to breast with what's going on. So, don't forget Time Out with Andy Brown every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 here locally on WCSR 92.1 FM, and I will talk to you again on Saturday. So, until then, treat each other with respect. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.